10 things to stop buying so that you can be more of a financial minimalist. Number 1, television cable. Cancel your cable bill. With services like Hulu, Netflix, and Amazon Prime Video, you can now watch almost anything immediately and for a fraction of the cost of cable TV. In fact, when you really think about it, right? If you are in 2020 and you have access to the internet, why on earth are you watching cable television, right? Because think about it, it's like the same idea with the whole like DirecTV and Dish Network and all that kind of stuff, right? You have like thousands of channels, but nothing really on and nothing you really want to watch, right? So options such as HD TV antennas and YouTube TV work for those who love live TV as well. Now there's also Sling TV. Sling TV is also a very good option for someone who likes more of a live setting. But to me, if you're doing something like online for TV, make sure to get something that doesn't have any ads, right? Like you don't want to be interrupted by ads ever, okay? You don't want to deal with that because a lot of shows end up having intros as well, and you don't want to deal with that. It's a pain in the butt, okay? 2, plastic baggies. Sure, plastic baggies are incredibly convenient, and we've gotten into the habit of buying box after box. But these reusable baggies cost about as much as a big pack of sandwich bags and are easy to wash and reuse. They seal well and are biodegradable, while typical plastic bags may spend 500 to 1,000 years or longer in a landfill. Impulse purchases. Now, we're not just talking about the items that catch your eye as you shop hungry or wait in the checkout line, but certainly resist those too. All the time we spend online makes it easy to see something we never knew we wanted, and then, thanks to a few touches and swipes, have it heading our way within minutes. Make a rule that all items must sit in an online shopping cart for a minimum of 1 day before purchase. Some companies offer you a discount when they notice you haven't yet pulled the trigger. Don't use that as like I'm going to purposely put these things in the cart so that I could get a discount so that I can buy that item, right? No, just understand that it's just a cherry on top to try to convince you to just prolong it a little bit longer, right? Because the thing is, you got to really sit down and think about is if you're like what the item that you're buying, is it really worth it, right? Because a lot of people just go and swipe or just click and buy, especially with Amazon. You just click and buy or tap and buy if you're doing it on your phone. And you got to be careful with that, because if you're not careful, you could end up spending a couple $100 in a single day, right? Well, I should even say you could end up spending a couple $100 within like a minute, right? Without even really thinking about it. And then you just, show up you walk to your house or go to your front door, and all of a sudden you see like 10 or 12 boxes from Amazon Prime. It's a pretty crazy situation. Next one is cleaning products. So many of the store-bought cleaning products taking up your cabinet space really could be replaced with a few pantry items, which is like cleaning vinegar and baking soda are two that top the list. Do-it-yourselfing your own is easier than you think. It's mostly a matter of getting into the habit, and the right formulas really do work. Commit to replacing just one of your regular cleaning products with a homemade option. Get used to that, then keep going. Next one is unnecessary groceries. A recent study at the University of Vermont found that the average American wastes nearly a pound of food daily. That's bad news for your wallet and the environment. So here are some tips to help. Plan your meals weekly, keeping what you already have on hand in mind, and make a grocery shopping list to support it. Stick to that list and shop smart when you do. Get creative with leftovers, and here's some inspiration. You could think about, buying like a large pizza and then just like reheating the slices throughout the week, right? And you could even use your freezer as well. For example, a running stash of about to turn fruits and veggies make perfect smoothie starters. You get more tips to help reduce food waste from the Environmental Protection Agency, which is the EPA. Next one is paper towels and napkins. A 36-pack of microfiber cloths costs you about the same as a 12-pack of paper towels, but it will last you way longer. Invest in a stash of pretty cloth napkins, too. Keep a mini hamper under the sink to corral the dirties and effectively keep paper products out of your kitchen. Dryer sheets. Invest in a few reusable wool dryer balls instead. You'll save money on repeat dryer sheet purchases, plus you'll cut down on dry time by up to 40% according to the dryer ball manufacturer, which then saves on energy costs. You could also make your own dryer sheets. Greeting cards. All those $3 and $5 purchases really do add up if for some reason you're having to buy them pretty often. So switching to free e-cards instead of sending across the miles saves you money on postage too. So there's Smilebox, Just Wink, and Paperless Post are some interesting options. Can't stand the thought of not giving them something to have and to hold. If making cards is up your alley, go for it. Hold an afternoon card making session to build up a stash. Or just buy an expensive box of all occasion cards, most likely on Amazon, and you're good to go for years to come. New clothes. Stop before you buy new and consider less expensive and more eco-friendly thrift and vintage items instead. When looking for current fashion, visit thrift stores. There are plenty of online alternatives to your local thrift store. Poshmark and ThredUp are two popular ones. Vintage items, those 25 years or older, are great for special occasions and statement pieces especially. They're easiest to score at local vintage stores or online at specialized sites such as Etsy Vintage Section. And meals out. Dining out is more than a $3,000 annual expense for most American households, according to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. While no one wants to give up going out altogether, there are all kinds of ways you can bring that number down. Plan to take a lunch to work or school more often. Make it fun so it doesn't feel like you're skimping. Go out during happy hour, meet for lunch instead of dinner, or opt for an appetizer potluck at home instead of an evening out once in a while. Now, a good tip to also do for this, right? Let's say that you're trying to cut weight, right? For whatever reason, if you're trying to lose weight, you could basically get frozen meat if you're into frozen meat, or frozen alternative meat, right? And then a carb aspect to it, right? That you could see the calories on every single thing, so you could basically count your calories while also planning all your meals at home and making it just bam, 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 bam. Because a lot of people who suffer from portion control basically need to decide on okay, I'm eating this and only this, right? Because a lot of people who have portion control will just grab a bag of Doritos and just eat the whole bag of Doritos. But if the only things in your house are things that the exact calories per item is, because it's literally on the thing is individually wrapped sort of stuff, right? And you could just plan it out every single day, and it makes things so much simpler, saves you money in the long term because you're not overeating, you're not wasting food, and is very good for you long term health wise. So check out 40inbox.com to master your money, personal finance lessons, and courses. Want to make money online? Learn the 4 steps to make money online in the description of this episode. And we will see you in future episodes. Feel free to subscribe and leave a comment as to what you think you should do to save money to be a financial minimalist.